Alright, welcome to my new video game video series called You Never Forget Your First Time. And I want to take a look back at some of the games I played in my youth and kind of remember how it was the first time I played them. I wanted to start out with Super Mario Brothers because this is one of the first console games I ever played. I got a Nintendo when I was about 5 or 6 years old, and this is, I had this game. It was a combination of Mario Duck Hunt. I didn't have the one that had um, the track and field. And Tim Rogers says that one of the reasons that Mario is one of the most perfect games is because it's pretty easy to tell what to do from the beginning. Your guy's all the way on the left, there's space on the right. What do? You just start moving to the right. And in fact, here's what my first playthrough of Mario looked like. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that happened to a bunch of people the first time they started playing. So the second time through, I said, oh, okay, here's the jump button. Let me try and jump over this guy. And I hit this mark, and then I learned, oh, I can kill them just by jumping on them. Now I know that I can turn big. And just go breaking some blocks there. And, just making my way across the world. And basically discovered that one just by walking through and just jumping around everywhere I go. And so I remember thinking, wow, this is neat. This guy can shoot. He can kill these guys. I remember thinking that that was so awesome. And of course, I'm go breaking all the bricks as I go along. And when I discovered the star and that I can walk through people, I thought it was great. What an awesome power to just be able to just plow through your enemies. I remember thinking it's really funny when I used to play this game that the flag there was a mask. It looks like a kind of like a mask that you might use if you're gonna go scuba diving, although it's pretty obviously a turtle. And going through this pipe here, and all of a sudden, you find yourself underground, and I was like, whoa, this is even more deep than I thought it was. I remember thinking these guys were like Siamese twins here because it looks like they're connected to each other. I also remember when I was really young playing this game, my grandfather, the fidelity wasn't as good as it is here on this screen. He would tell me, doesn't Mario get a headache banging his head against the bricks all the time? I mean, now you can clearly see it's his hand, but on our old TV you couldn't really do that. I didn't really discover the shortcut through the top until much later. So yeah, eventually I would come to always take this shortcut here, but I didn't do that at first. The first time I played through, I just said, I was trained. You go through pipes. That's how you finish Mario levels. So I ended up over here, now to World 1-3. One of the neat things about this level here with these little, I guess, hills or whatever that you're walking on, is that it really shows how a lot of the staples of the Mario franchise really started right from the beginning. Like, this always existed ever since Mario first started. I remember the first time I saw this turtle, and I thought that for sure I had to kill him because he's a bad guy. And for the most part, if you don't jump at the exact right spot, you end up just falling to your death, and it's pretty hilarious. So this is truly platforming in the most basic sense of the word. I think one of the things that's no longer there with the Mario games is the score. I think that's just an interesting relic of the old days where, you know, games had scores because they were from arcades and stuff, and the consoles were kind of new. So yeah, this is the first time I was ever in a you know, one of Bowser's dungeons, and remember the music sounds really, really scary. Like something really scary must be over here. And actually, I said Bowser, but at that time he was King Koopa to us. And I remember that this was so scary, this part, and the music and the fight with Bowser, that one of my younger brothers, he actually had to leave the room whenever I was in this level. Of course, he was only 3 years old, maybe even 2 years old, so I don't blame him for being scared, but I remember he just found this so scary, the music was so tense, and we've got this like dragon creature over here. And I remember thinking, alright, I beat it, wow, that was an easy game to beat. And I get to this Toad dude, and he gives me this message: the princess is in another castle. Of course that's famous now, everyone knows, but back then, you know, it was like, whoa. And so off we go into World 2. Oh. Oh no, that happened all too often as it went in my first playthrough as well as a kid. I remember thinking how cruel it was that if you died, you had to start all over again from the beginning. Games were pretty cruel back then. Nowadays, it's pretty hard not to be able to beat a Mario game, even if you can't get all the way through in all the bonus levels. Well, I think that's a good place to stop. Just kind of shows, you know, what it was like the first time I ever played Mario, and I'd like to go through a companion piece that you'll see up soon, called Replaying My Youth, and that's where I'll play games from my youth, where I actually play them now as an adult and see if I can get further than I could when I was younger. You know, see if I can actually beat games that stumped me back then. So I'll see you then.